All right. Well, hello and welcome. We're here with Mr. Larry Frawley. Larry, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Jeff.
So, take us back to like day one. All right. If I want to know about Larry, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Day one. Oh my gosh. Well, I was born.
Day one in business.
Oh,
yeah.
no kidding.
Came out of the womb. No. Day one in business.
Yeah, day one in business. So I retired from UPS. I was a UPS over-the-road truck driver.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into business for myself. So real estate was kind of the perfect avenue. So, so I was licensed up in Ohio, right? I won't say OH or anything, any of that stuff, but licensed in Ohio.
Out of respect for me, thank you.
Out of respect for you, absolutely. But licensed up there for a little while. Then I took a leadership role with Keller Williams, got me relocated to Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So Houston, Texas, went down there and grew a couple offices down there. Went out and got my brokerage license, got relocated to Dallas, and then to Charleston, South Carolina. And then I actually did my own brokerage for a couple years.
Yeah. So you ran an independent brokerage?
Ran my independent brokerage for a couple years. Got licensed in South Carolina and North Carolina. Still have those licenses today.
Sure.
I do sell a little RV parks over there. That's one of my specialties there. And then had the opportunity about 3.5 years ago to get back to Houston.
Got it.
And got back to Houston. One of the things I missed there the first time was I had a goal for a property management company. So went out and bought a property management company.
An existing one.
An existing one. My goal was to start in just one property, right? And all of a sudden,
slowly build it.
Yeah, all of a sudden it was an opportunity for 19 proproperties.
Okay.
You know, and 19 properties without all the models and systems.
Sure.
Right. So that's one of the big things I tell that all the time. You gotta have those systems in place.
Sure.
So now I run an office of a little over 600 agents.
So 600 agents in your brokerage.
600 agents in the brokerage.
Wow.
Yeah, on top of all that.
And you are responsible for what?
So I'm responsible for recruiting, retention, management
of the leadership team,
of the brokerage and leadership team. My staff is 17 people.
You have 17 people on your staff. That includes
17 people.
Assistant team leaders,
Exactly.
productivity coaches, all those roles.
Productivity coaches, all the staff positions. Everybody.
How do you manage? It all? That seems like a lot of people to be responsible for.
You know, it is, and it kind of goes back to, and I'm not absolutely the best at it, but it is managing that morning. It's managing that morning schedule. I hit the office between 7:30 and 7:45. And I do that because that's when it's quiet.
Quiet in most offices at that time, so you can get a lot done.
I can get a lot done. I can get a lot done.
And so your main role is recruiting. But how many agents are you guys bringing on per month?
So we'll
average month.
Yeah, average month. So we'll do 250 this year. So we'll recruit 250 agents.
So 250 agents total in the year.
Yeah,
so
and I've got 3 recruiters. Three of us recruiting.
So you manage recruiters. And you make phone calls in addition to them, or you just do the close?
I do, and then now we've gotten big enough where we've got ISAs that are actually making calls and setting up appointments on top of everything that we're doing.
Well, one of the things I appreciate about you and your business is you've got a ton of wisdom. I mean, obviously, not only the years of experience, but when you're running a brokerage of 600 agents, I mean, just to put that in perspective, I also have 600 agents in my brokerage. My brokerage is with an S. And that's 7 offices across the state of Michigan. This is 600 under one roof. That's pretty impressive. And that is an operation.
It is an operation. What I will say though is I think the bigger the office, sometimes it gets a little easier. You know, because now you get people.
Assembly line, a machine.
Yeah, you have people. You have all that. So it does get a little bit easier. The stuff when I had 200 agents in the office, I'm probably doing not less, but I'm doing just a different kind of work.
So before you got involved with Glover U, you've been coaching agents and leaders essentially since you've been doing that.
Correct.
And what does that look like for you in your schedule? Where do you fit that in? What has that process been for you?
Yeah, primarily, I select a day a week, and I usually hold anywhere from 6 to 10 agents. Where it's that weekly accountability. It's coming up with, here's what you said you were going to do, right? And here's what you actually did.
So one-on-ones, you do group coaching, I would imagine, with them,
Yep.
training, obviously running sales
Absolutely.
meetings. What's the production of your office like in terms of units and volume? So 600 agents.
So gosh.
This is not like just some weak office. I mean,
Yeah, so let's see, 2021, of course, the best year kind of in real estate. You know, I think our volume, we were 1.9 billion in sales.
1.9 billion.
Billion in sales.
1 year.
With the B, you know, so, you know,
pretty good.
It was good. It was our most profitable year. Of course,
I mean, you guys got to be like #1 in Houston.
We're #1 in Houston, yeah.
Wow,
Number
that's
one
big.
in Houston.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was just, once again, it was having the models, having the systems,
Yeah.
that helps facilitate all that.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think that drew us to working with you and getting you, or us working to get you involved in Glover U, is your experience in growing businesses and growing brokerages. So I would say anyone that gets the opportunity to coach with you, especially on the recruiting, training, coaching, development side, I mean, they're going to see, you're going to get to kind of peek under the hood of an operation that size. And I mean, you probably have more problems in your real estate office in one day because of that agent count than in most years for a brokerage, right?
Yeah, I kind of go on, did I get the bear today or did the bear get me?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of them things every day when you go into it, because you've got, it doesn't matter if it's compliance issues, if it's, agents leaving, agents joining,
Yep. So how did you find us? How did we get involved?
So interestingly, this was, right after I got back to Houston, I'd received a nice little care package from Glover, and I thought, who is this? At the time I just didn't know, and then I started doing a little research, and I started listening to your podcast, and I started going to events, and it really was the very first event that I went to. It was the very first lead up.
Yeah. Oh, lead up. Yep.
Lead up, and we did the Glover Unreal Formula.
Yeah, the Live Unreal Formula.
And when I got to the bottom and I realized, the number that I put in there, my world just needed to get a whole lot bigger than what it was.
Yep.
And I think I told you that day, that was, for me, it doesn't matter how I get involved with Glover University. I want to be a part of this operation, right?
Yeah, yeah. So since you have been, obviously, I'm sure you've seen a difference in yourself and your brokerage and your business itself.
Absolutely.
But talk to me a little bit about, when you look at what your role as a coach is to an agent. If I'm considering coaching with Larry, I would want to know, why should I coach with you?
I love that. So I think one of the biggest things, jokingly, they call me the Houston Hammer.
Okay.
Right? Like he's a nice guy, but he gets very serious.
Yeah.
And, in the beginning, I'm kind of like, Houston Hammer, that doesn't really sound good. But I believe in accountability. I know the best years of my life and my career, I had a great coach.
Yep.
Right? I had the who.
Yeah.
Once I found the who, then I had the who holding me very accountable. So whoever decides to move forward with that, I can promise you that there's going to be a high level of accountability.
Yeah. Well, because that is one of the big reasons we sign up for coaching, because we have to pay for accountability, right? There has to be a penalty if we don't do what we say we're going to do.
Exactly.
Well, I think anyone that gets to tap into your wisdom and your scars and your battle wounds and everything that you've gone through, leading a brokerage that size, and of course developing agents and developing leaders, anyone that gets that opportunity, it's going to be a real treat for them. So Thank you so much, Larry. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.